guys and girls, and welcome to this video. So guys and girls, based on your responses to the poll that was going on, I'm here to start a new tutorial series on Amazon HTTP API. And if you are new to this channel, then I would like to inform you that I have already did a tutorial series on Amazon REST API as well as on Amazon WebSocket API, and the links are in the video description. So before we begin, I would like to request all of you that please hit the subscribe button below if you have not subscribed to my channel. So welcome to the part 1 of the tutorial series on Amazon HTTP API. So here I would like to highlight few points about the HTTP API. That is, HTTP API is 71% cheaper than the REST API, and it provides up to 60% of reduction in the latency, and it is optimized for building APIs that proxy to the AWS Lambda or HTTP backends, making them ideal for the serverless workloads. So guys, let's have a look at the ideal difference between the REST API and the HTTP API. So here, as you can see on my screen, we will be looking at the difference on the AWS official documentation page, and it is well laid out in tabular form. So let's get started with the authorizers. So here we have authorizers, which authorizers are supported by HTTP API versus REST API. So it supports AWS Lambda as well as IAM. HTTP API supports Amazon Cognito, but it is conditional. So what is that condition? So here you can see you can use Amazon Cognito as a JWT issuer, and Amazon Cognito is supported fully with REST API. And then it has support for the native OpenID Connect / OAuth 2.0, and REST API does not support that natively. So what you can do is you can use AWS Lambda function as the authorizer and write your configuration or the code to connect with the OpenID or OAuth 2.0. Right now, let's move on to the integration part. So which all integration is available as compared to HTTP API versus REST API. So public HTTP endpoints are available for both as well as Lambda, AWS services. So here we can see a tick for AWS services, but there might be a possibility that we will be able to see many more services in terms of REST API as compared to HTTP API. Correct. Then we have private integration with application load balancer. It is supported by HTTP API and is not supported by REST API. Then we have network load balancer private integration supported by both. Then we have private integration with AWS Cloud Map. It is not supported by REST API, but it is supported by HTTP API. So basically, AWS Cloud Map is a cloud resource discovery service, right? And then we are able to define mock responses in the REST API, but not in the HTTP API. Correct. Now moving along to the API management. So usage plans and API keys are not supported within HTTP API, but it does support custom domain names. Right, so custom domain names are supported by both, but within HTTP API there are some conditions. So it says that HTTP APIs don't support TLS 1.0, whereas REST API supports both TLS 1.0 as well as TLS 2.0. Right, now moving along to the development table. So here we have the API caching, and API caching is not available in HTTP API, but it is available within REST API. Then request parameter transformation available in both. Then we have request body transformation. So we cannot transform the body within HTTP API like we used to do in the REST API. Then request response validation. So we cannot validate the request or response at the API level within HTTP API, but we can do that in the REST API. So then we have test invocation. So we don't have that feature in HTTP API, but we do see that in the REST API. Then we have CORS configuration, but there is some condition for the REST API. So let's have a look. So it says you can combine different features of REST APIs to support CORS, right? So to learn more, you can navigate to this URL. Then automatic deployments. So automatic deployments is supported in the HTTP API, but as we know that within REST API, we need to manually deploy that API. So since HTTP API supports automatic deployment, there will be some default staged and default route, whereas we don't have the default stage or route within REST API because it does not support automatic deployments. Correct. Then we have custom gateway responses. So we were able to define custom gateway responses on the REST API, but that feature is not available under HTTP API. Then the canary release deployment is not supported in HTTP API. So canary release is basically that, for example, you are working on some new feature and you want to test it out with some percentage of users. So that's basically canary release deployment that you can do and test it out, that feature, for example, with 20% of your traffic. So that feature is not available within HTTP API. Now let's move on to the security. Mutual TLS authentication. It's tick for both. Certificates for backend authentication. It is supported within REST API but not in HTTP API. So basically, what is certificates for backend authentication? So we can use API gateway to generate an SSL certificate and then use its public key in the backend to verify that HTTP requests to your backend system are from API gateway or not. So that's basically certificates for backend authentication. AWS web application firewall not supported in HTTP API. Resource policy, we are able to define resource policy in REST API but not in HTTP API. Then let's have a look at the API type. So as we know that REST API is available in three forms, that is regional, edge optimized and private. But if we go with the HTTP API, then we have only one option, that is regional API. Then finally, there is monitoring. So CloudWatch is supported by default in both. Then access logs to Amazon Kinesis data firehorse. HTTP API don't have that feature, but REST API does. Then execution logs is available for the REST API, but not for HTTP API. Then we have Amazon Cloud Metrics available for both. Then AWS X-Ray if you want to debug anything at the application level. So you can use that AWS X-Ray, but it is not supported with the HTTP API. So one can opt out for HTTP API depending on the use case and its requirement, like low latency, cost-effective integration with AWS services, including AWS Lambda and HTTP endpoints, right? And also based on the references that we just discussed. So if that falls under this criteria, then one should opt out for the HTTP API. And again, the major advantage of using HTTP API is that it's 71% cheaper than the REST API and it offers up to 60% of reduction in latency, right? So these are the few things that you might want to keep in mind when you choose between HTTP API and REST API, right? So guys, that's all for this tutorial. That's all I wanted to cover. And till that time, as usual, if you want me to do tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below and I will try my best to come up with a tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.